Good evening, and welcome to tonight's nightmare. Tonight's nightmare is a continuation of last night's from This is Friday and The Reddit No Sleep, titled My Daughter Has Changed Since Her Vacation. Last night, Sarah came home and seemed her normal self. I was watching a movie in the living room, and she came right over and joined me. It was nice to just sit there with my daughter and feel like a family. But I had an uneasy feeling inside of me. Considering what had been happening and what I discovered in her room, I knew I couldn't let the normalcy persist. I had to ask her questions and hope she would give me answers. Sarah, I saw the binder. I paused the movie as I waited patiently for her to respond. You were in my room? She asked. Her voice was very quiet. Yes, I know it was but before I could finish, she cut me off. Did he see you? She asked in a loud whisper. Please, tell me he didn't see you, Daddy. Her eyes were already tearing up. Sarah truly feared whoever this man was. I put my hands on her shoulders. There was no one in your room. I thought I heard a man laughing, but that wouldn't have made any sense. What? No. Who are you talking about? You have to tell me. She began sobbing, my hands still resting on her shoulders, which were heaving up and down as she cried her eyes out. I was upset, angry, but most of all dumbfounded. Nothing was adding up. Why had Sarah been behaving oddly? What was it with that binder? Who was this man she kept talking about? Was he even a man? Her tears continued to pour out as I began to shush her and went in for a hug. That's when she grabbed me by the throat and pushed me down. With her above me, I was pinned against the couch as she tried her hardest to choke the life out of me. Why? Why did you go in there? Sarah screamed and continued to squeeze as hard as she could. He's going to be angry! I was in a lot of pain, and she was doing a good job of choking me, but I knew I had to get out of this. I didn't want to hurt her, but I grabbed her by the arms and tried to pull her arms away from me. She resisted, and I ended up ripping a chunk of each sleeve off of her shirt. I mustered up enough strength to break her grip and rolled out from under her. She stood up by the couch and watched me as I stood up. That's when I saw them. Her scars. Her arms had a lot of scars. She had been cutting herself and wearing long sleeves to hide it. Considering how crazy everything was and remembering the weird symbol I found on the cover of her binder, plus taking into account the dried blood on the pictures, I pieced together a theory. Did you join some sort of cult, Sarah? The symbol on your binder, it looked almost demonic. You've been cutting yourself. You're talking about some angry man. This is all batshit crazy. What happened while you were gone? She didn't respond. Instead, she ran up to her room. I gave chase, but she beat me there and locked the door behind her. I banged on it as loud as I could. Sarah! Sarah, open up the damn door right now! I continued to pound on the door. I even gave some thought to kicking it in, but decided against it. Go away! He's upset. I have to be punished. I didn't know what sort of demonic entity or devil my daughter thought she was communing with, but regardless, these delusions were making her a danger to others and herself. Don't hurt yourself, sweetheart. Please listen to me. We can talk. We can get you help. From the other side of the door came a response, but it was not the one I wanted, and it did not come from my little girl. I heard laughter. The same laughter I heard when I searched her room, but this time it was loud. It sounded like it was coming from everywhere around me, not just Sarah's room. I'm pretty sure the house even started to shake. I held my ears, and that's the last thing I remember before waking up in my bed this morning. I shot out of my room as fast as I could and bolted for Sarah's room. When the door was open, she wasn't inside. I ran downstairs and found a note on the dining room table. Went to mall with friends. Be back later. XOXO. Again. Sarah did something normal despite all the craziness going on around her. Still, I had to know what happened last night. I took out my phone to call her, but I saw that I had a text from a number I didn't recognize. I opened it to find a picture. It was a picture of Sarah on the beach during spring break. The picture was taken from a far distance, but Sarah was posing for a different picture being taken by one of her friends, Katie. I called the number that sent me the text, but it went straight to voicemail. I replied to the text asking who this was, but I've still yet to get anything back. After I had some time to think things over, I decided that continuously confronting Sarah about this whole ordeal may not be the best idea. Instead, I figured Katie could provide some potential answers. I got ready and drove to Katie's house, expecting to meet her parents at the door. Instead, Katie answered. "Oh, Mr. Wallace, what are you doing here? Is Sarah okay?" I shook my head. "I don't think so. That's actually why I came over here. I had a feeling you'd be with her at the mall right now, and was hoping I could at least talk to your parents, but talking to you will be even better." She opened the door wider and motioned for me to come in. "My parents are at work, but I was actually just making a grilled cheese sandwich. Do you want one?" "No, I'm not hungry, but thank you, Katie." I entered and sat down on the couch in the living room. Moments later, Katie sat across from me on another couch, her sandwich in hand and a glass of water to wash it down with. "So, what's going on with Sarah?" Katie took a bite of her sandwich. I explained everything to Katie, and continued eating throughout the whole story until she had finished her meal. She was finishing her water as I concluded my tale. "And then seeing you in the picture made me think that maybe you saw something happen, or maybe someone she was with that could help explain her weird behavior." Katie looked around the room while she was thinking, and I could tell she was more than a little nervous. "Anything, Katie. Anything at all that could help me get to the bottom of this, and help Sarah before she does damage to herself that can't be repaired." Katie took a deep breath and slowly exhaled. "The last day we were there, that morning, we all woke up before her. Weird, considering how she always gets up bright and early. I don't remember much from the night before. We were pretty hammered." I shake my head. Something Katie paused for. I mean, you had to know." "Yeah, I figured. Go on." I aggressively rubbed my brow while Katie continued. "So I went to get her up after a while, and she was just laying down flat on top of her covers. Her hair was a mess, like she'd been tossing and turning all night prior to this. She was definitely asleep, but she was whispering." Katie trailed off, losing a bit of her composure. It was the strangest thing. I shivered listening to her whisper like that." "What was she saying?" I pressed. I I don't know if I heard everything she said, but she kept repeating a few different things. She said Mom a lot. There was something about not making him angry again. The only other thing I really remember was about you." Katie looked down at the floor. "What about me? What did she say?" "Well, she said you were going to die soon, that he was going to kill you." Katie rubbed her hands nervously. I'm sorry, I know it was weird, and I probably should have said something sooner, but I just thought she was having a bad dream." I was shaken, I won't lie. Still, I had to make sure Katie knew she didn't do anything wrong. "Don't blame yourself, you couldn't have known. Thank you for your help, Katie." I hugged her and was on my way. My next stop was the police station. I had undoubtedly heard a masculine voice the night before, and while I feel like Sarah had gotten involved with some evil cult, I refuse to believe that what I heard was a demon or even the devil himself. There must have been a man in my house, hiding somewhere in my daughter's room. This infuriated me, but I was in no state to rush home and try to find him, if he was even still there. I had a lot of questions. Who was he? Why was he going to kill me? What was the connection between Sarah's whispers that morning? Why was she whispering about her mother? I couldn't answer these questions, and I knew Sarah would be no help. So I met with one of my oldest friends. He's a detective here in town. Detective Wade. He and I go way back to junior high school. I know it's outside of his job description, but I didn't want him to conduct a standard investigation. I didn't want him to get caught up in the red tape. I wanted him to help me solve this thing and take this man before he could hurt me or my daughter. Luckily, Wade had the kind of rebellious personality that would allow him to go something like this. "Hell yeah, I'll help you catch this son of a bitch. You and Sarah are family. I'm not going to let anyone get away with hurting my family," Wade said as we met over coffee. "If we did this by the books, I'm guessing we'd find the guy, sure, especially if he's in your home. We'd have to book him and take him straight to jail. This way, he has to pay for messing with Sarah before he gets locked up. And if we play our cards right, maybe we can gather evidence that he's doing more than just trespassing on your property. I don't figure Sarah would give this guy up if she's so afraid of him. But if we can get proof of him doing something malicious, we'll put him in a cell for much longer." "What'd you have in mind?" I questioned Wade. As much as I wanted this bastard to feel some of the pain he's been making my daughter feel. I know Wade can go overboard, and the last thing we need is Wade killing him. Still, I had to know what he had planned to gather more damning evidence. We didn't even know for sure that some mystery man was hiding away in my house. And even if he was, we didn't know if he was always there. When does he come and go? Is he even active while I'm asleep? Is he drinking my beer? I'll stake the place out at night, from a distance. I'll get a view of Sarah's window and see what I can spot going on in there at nighttime. I'll make sure to record anything, and if I see this guy, I'll let you know. I'll be giving you live updates via text if anything happens. I wasn't going to dispute him. Wade gets results, one way or another. He knows what he's doing, and even if sometimes it seems like he doesn't, I agreed to his plan and came home. Sarah isn't back yet, but she did text me some pictures of some shoes she wanted. I responded as everything was perfectly fine, but I know it's not. And she knows it's not. But I suppose things have been screwed up here for a while. I had to put on a brave face for Sarah and pretend I was okay after her mother died. Obviously I wasn't, and I'm sure Sarah realizes that, but I had to be strong for her. And now, after Katie's story, it just makes you wonder if Sarah and I should have talked about it more. Maybe something broke inside her that day that pushed her to this man and whatever cult she must have joined. That's my current theory, anyway.